Hey YouTube, how you doing? Woo! Like, comment, subscribe. Whoa! I'm over here. Now I'm here. Hey, I'm just kidding. We're not doing that. I'm gonna share another three songs with you that I think are really wonderful and amazing. The first song is more of a movement. It's the final movement, sort of the finale of Gustav Mahler's Eighth Symphony. The symphony premiered in 1910. It was the last of Mahler's symphonies to be premiered in his lifetime, and they called it the Symphony of 1,000. Not because it actually required 1,000 people, that would be absurd, but it did require hundreds of people. I mean, it's one of the largest choral symphonies ever written, and you can hear that in this final movement. I'm not sure if it's the final movement I'm referring to or just the finale at large, but in any event, I will link what I'm referring to in the description and in the comments so you can check it out. It starts with a whisper, with the quietest utterance of a choral phrase. And then over the course of 6-7 minutes, slowly builds and juices you and undulates, and slow things get added and multiply, and the voices rise up from the bottom, and then the whole thing at the end, it's just a fucking explosion of this boom. I mean, you're throwing at the premiere performance in 1910. Mahler, I think there were 350 members of the children's choir that came to provide support for this piece. I mean, that's how many voices this thing requires. He asked that the woodwind section be doubled, that the string section be multiplied, all this stuff, and you'll hear why. I mean, at the end, it's this eruption of sound and joy and sweeping emotion that's just, I don't know, man. It's like, whoo, I'm getting worked up just thinking about it. You can tell that this piece is written with great urgency. Just the way that it evolves so organically, you can tell that not much time was taken in writing it and that it was written sort of in one fell swoop because it moves that way. It moves like a wave and just grows and grows and then crashes. And it's unbelievable. I hope you love it as much as I do. Next, we're moving on to some hip-hop. I'm not sure if I've had any hip-hop in this recommendation series, and that's a huge oversight. It's one of my very favorite genres of music. I hadn't thought of any that really struck me until now, but I've got one for you. This track is called Dilla Plugged In, and it's from the 2014 De La Soul mixtape called Smell the Daisy. This is a really cool mixtape. It's basically De La Soul just spitting hot diarrhea all over these old, relatively unknown J Dilla beats. The first reason I love this track so much is because De La Soul is approaching it from this sort of classic, confident De La Soul position where they're just walking on the track. They're just having a little walk on the track. They know exactly what they're doing. They're going to put this phrase here, this phrase here. They don't give a fuck about traditional structure. They're just rapping, and they have been rapping for a long fucking time. And it comes through, especially in this track. It's just really confident, and I love that. The other reason I love this so much is because the beat is just fucking simplicity and dopeness combined. J Dilla is known for sampling sort of odd left field things and turning them into this sort of like traditional dope bob your head shit. And with this one, he samples a Hall & Oates live concert. Yeah, it works perfectly. He doesn't dress it up. He doesn't need to dress it up. The chord structure is there. It sounds great. All he does is dance around it with his usual mix of tightly conceived percussion and bass that's just fucking just living within your subwoofers, not getting in the way, but just providing that perfect oh, he's just hitting you with it. What I want to get across about this beat instrumentally is just how lovely the chord structure from this Hall & Oates live sample is. It resolves really beautifully. It's just a 3-chord pattern. There's something about those 3 chords that really speaks to me. It's very effective. It's colorful, and it works really nicely. And it has this sort of like soul nostalgic element to it that makes me think about Jay Dilla and makes me think about De La Soul. And it's just, the whole thing is a marriage of time, place, culture, that, I don't know, this weird sample from a completely different genre of music comes in and contributes to flawlessly. So I hope you give it a shot. I hope you like it. So the last track I'd like to share with you is from an artist who you may or may not know. He's grown a lot recently, which is great. I can't do this. This artist's name is Gabriel Garzon Montano. He's sort of a one-man kind of thing where he produces, composes, and sings over all of his own stuff. It's all very much rooted in soul and funk and is just super fucking dope. He was recently signed to Stone's Throw, where he put out his sort of major label debut called Jardin or Jardin. I'm not sure how he wants it pronounced. Maybe it's just pronounced Jardin. But what I'd like to draw your attention to is his 2014 album entitled Bijounet, Alma del Huila. And I have no idea if I'm saying that correctly, but fuck you. You really could call this album more of an EP. I think it's like 6 or 7 songs. And they're all really interesting and lovely in their own right. But I want to draw your attention to the very first song, which is entitled 6-8. The number 6 and then the number 8 with a space in the middle. One of the reasons I like it so much is because it slowly introduces you to each of the elements of the song as you travel along with Gabriel through it. He starts with the drums, sparse, perfect, just a 1 and a 2. Boom. Brah. Boom. Brah. And then he starts singing. And you're not really sure of where the melody fits in musically until he brings in the piano, and the piano comes in, and then after the piano comes in for a while, then he hits you with the bass. It just all comes together in this really sexy, sensual way. It's just great and very much worth your time. In fact, that whole EP is worth your time. Put the whole goddamn thing on. Start it, finish it. It'll take you 15, 20 minutes. It's a great listen. Plus, the album cover's cool as shit. So those are my 3 recommendations for you today. I hope you enjoy them. I hope you go check them out, listen to them, take them in, think about them. Let's talk about it in the comments. Of course, I'll leave links to all of these pieces in the description, and I'll pin it to the top of the comments as well. Can't thank you enough for watching. As always, I very much appreciate your viewership. Keep tuning in, and as always, let's stay pooping on this thing.